Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me well. We are starting at 8. Hi Roger, Stacy, Christine, Helen, Dave, Alicia, Mardine. Hi everyone. Feel free if you want to open your cameras. This is being recorded, so I'll let you know. I'm telling that it's being recorded. You have here a chat. I don't know if you are very used to Zoom, but you have a chat here. You can say hello, hola, like Alicia did. Let me write here. Hola. Okay. You can send your questions, your comments here, and I will always try to keep up with your comments. But of course, in the end, I will review everything. So I make sure that I will answer all of your questions. Okay? So first things first, olá, eu sou a Sara. Olá, I'm Sara. Probably you know me because of my Instagram, which is Olá, I'm Sara. I like to be very conversational. And my YouTube channel with the same name. So, boa noite. Hello from Canada. Welcome here. Boa noite a todos. André is always also saying hola. Let me just check if everything is like the technical part of thing. If everything is going on. I have the screen here and the screen here. And I want to make sure that you have the best experience possible. So you actually, you are here and you are investing your time, although this masterclass is free in terms of money, but you are investing your time and your energy. You could be doing something else, right? But you are here. And I want to say parabéns, congratulations, because this means that Portuguese is important for you. And as a Portuguese person, thank you for that. Thank you for putting the effort in learning Portuguese. You are, of course, I'm not with you in your daily life, but thank you for learning my language. I know that is not specifically to be able to talk with me, to have a conversation with me. Maybe if you have Portuguese friends, if you have a crush, or you are married to a Portuguese, something like that, you are learning Portuguese because you want to have a conversation with them. But even so, thank you for learning my language. It is very special for me. And the reason I not only teach European Portuguese, but also help my students and followers on Instagram, on YouTube. The point is I help you have the best life possible here in Portugal. And I just love listening to non-native Portuguese people speaking Portuguese. I think that every single person, you as a foreigner, you can be from Canada, you can be from Nigeria, from Japan, from Peru. The Portuguese that you speak, no matter the mistakes, the accent, for me, it's a masterpiece. For example, if we have here like 2, 3, 5 Americans, you have that in common. You are American and your native language is English. But you are individuals and the Portuguese that you will speak will be very specific. Although you may have similar characteristics, you are individuals, unique individuals. So that makes your Portuguese to be even more special. So every time, for example, in my conversation club, every time I have opportunity to listen to people that are learning Portuguese, speaking Portuguese, I'm like, is music to my ears, as we say in Portuguese. É música para os meus ouvidos. So I want you to feel comfortable here. Let me see. Dominic is saying, thank you for organizing this and providing so many materials. Muito obrigada. De nada. Prazer é todo meu. The pleasure is all mine. Okay? So any questions that you have, or let's say technical issues, You don't see me, but you see the presentation, technical things, or things that you feel that for you is not that clear, you can comment on the chat and we will address it. Okay? So let's see. I think everything is going on. Okay? And I'm going to share the screen with you and our presentation. Because we are very excited. I know. Presentar. And I'm presentar on the wrong screen because this one here. Okay, share the screen here. Muito bem. The platform, the system that I use for my classes is Canva. It's very good. Okay, and let's look at this image here. Probably this scenario here is the dream that you have. You are at a coffee shop, living your life, and you are just doing what you usually do. Like you have your life. Maybe you are living in Portugal for some time, and you want to have a life here. That's the goal. But probably this is what happens. Now tell me if the dream here, if this happens all the time in Portuguese, okay? Because if you are just hanging out with English speakers or your language speakers or your Portuguese friends that just want to speak English because it's easier, it's faster, then, well, this is the dream, right? But sometimes, or too often, what actually happens is this. In this case, what is the feeling? It's very different from this scenario here. Don't you agree? And if you're not careful, and if you live your life in this situation most of the times, what happens is that you associate Portuguese and anything that is connected to Portuguese to something painful, something traumatic. For example, if you mispronounce something and then someone laughs at you, and maybe you think, oh, they laugh and they are judging me. Probably you don't even think, oh, maybe what I just said was funny, truly funny, and the person laughed. No, probably you think more negative way. And why? Because you are in these situations where you feel the pain of, for example, not understanding the Portuguese. And I think this topic is not addressed, anxiety. Because once you realize that the Portuguese eat letters and they speak fast and they do whatever they are doing, that you don't understand what's happening, that seems almost impossible to understand. Next time you're going to have an opportunity to have a conversation with someone, you will feel this anxiety. Oh, what is he going to say? Is he going to speak fast? Or is this kind of person that is more calm? What is going to happen? You are always in this anxiety, always anxious, always nervous, thinking, okay, I've been learning Portuguese, doing A, B, C, D, but if I allow me to participate in this conversation, I won't understand, I will feel embarrassed, they will laugh at me, and you start thinking about all possibilities, negative possibilities, right? But you love Portugal and you study hard. What do? What everyone does. You study grammar, vocabulary. You put so much effort in trying to understand the grammar, memorizing all those words, because learning a language is learning a new world. Imagine your whole life, but in another language. that's the case. And especially if you are a perfectionist, it's even more difficult for you to put yourself in a situation where you don't really know what is going to happen. Oh, they're going to speak fast. I'm not going to understand. And tell me, let me see here in the comments, tell me if it happens to you, like you have been learning Portuguese, but when you go to a store, cafe, like on the streets, like real life Portuguese, it sounds like a different language. If you read it, you understand. But if you listen, you don't. If it happens with you, let me know. You are not alone. And you see, how many of us are here? Well, me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5. So 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15. You are not alone. If you have a certain problem, and if other people are having the same problem, maybe, yes, you're not alone. And if there are other people having the same problem, maybe someone already figured out what is going on. And if you learn with this person, then you can move on. Stacy is saying, I shy away from conversing out of panic. Only after the conversation, I think of what I could have said when get annoyed saying it. Jennifer also says, sim, posso ler, mas falar, escutar é difícil. Jennifer also says, exactly, I can understand to read language, some conversation words, but the others speak to me, I'm lost. Reading, Alicia, thank you for all of your comments. Absolutely, reading is easiest, listening is hard, and talking is OMG. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Mike also says, todas as vezes. Right. So I know that by now you feel stuck. You really want to solve this issue, but they're speaking too fast. And as we already got to this conclusion, you feel anxious, in panic. You feel like this lady here, right? Frustrated, even ashamed sometimes. And even if it's not ashamed of others, you feel ashamed of yourself. Like, I've been doing all this and you are ashamed of yourself. Like, I still don't know it. Do I have any kind of problem? Am I bad at languages? You think that it's a problem with you. And plus, you invest money, you invest time, energy, you invest. Usually people just think about money, but when you invest your time, your energy, your patience, because this is complicated. And as I wrote here, if you don't do something to change these things will continue to happen. In my case, I used to have social anxiety, which means no matter the language, I struggle to have and carry on a conversation. But with me, it was exactly the opposite. What I'm going to say doesn't mean that it's true, but for me, it was, and it helped me. So if you belong to a culture, people with this culture will have a certain expectation of you. But if they don't know anything about your culture and they know that you don't speak the language like they do, they know that you are not a native, then in my point of view, that will be easier for me to speak English in this case, because I'm Portuguese. It will be easier for me to speak English because the English native speakers knew that I wasn't an English native speaker, so they had lower expectations. And because I was thinking this way, it was easier for me to say whatever I wanted to say and not have this pressure, so much pressure on me. And if you know, Portuguese are very good at English, right? So I have this pressure. I have to be good because every Portuguese is good at English, so I have to. And I wasn't. So I really understand that anxiety. So what's the matter with Portuguese? I'm going to show you something. Please don't feel scared, don't get scared, because in the end, everything is going to be all right, just like the song. So what I like to use in my courses and lessons and everything is natural content, authentic content, something made by Portuguese to Portuguese, not something made in a studio, in a lab environment with people that were trained to speak like that, to enunciate every single thing. No, people like in the real world, okay, natural. So reels, YouTube videos, and I use this content strategically to help my students, and in this case, help you here. So I will show you this video here. Let me give you some context. Some time ago, this year, there was a huge blackout. Spain, Portugal, the whole country, Spain and Spain as well, blackout. So what people did was, oh, let me buy water, let me buy supplies, because I don't know if energy, the lights will come back. And you will see why I say come back. So let me show you. It's just one sentence. Oh, let me put it here. It's just one sentence. And let me know if you can hear it, like the sound, not just understanding. We have the title, Eu depois de voltar à luz. Me, eu, after coming back to light. That's what it says if I translate it word by word. And now, listen to this.
A luz voltou, o que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? Então agora a luz voltou, o que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? Então agora a luz voltou, o que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo?
Fast, slow, overwhelming. Notice that he is surprised. The context. This is one of the techniques. Context. When we are in a conversation, of course, what people say are important, but communication is so much more than just language. Okay? So every single time that you listen or watch something, think, what are the non-verbal things here that can give me information about what is going on? Okay? So in this case, you see the light, lanterna, like this one that I have here. I hope you can see it. Lanterna. It was in a critical situation. There's no energy in the country, so let's have this light. Let's buy water and whatever we can. But what happened was it was just one day. Everyone was saying, maybe we will solve this issue in the end of the week. And this started on a Monday. So people were very worried. So let me buy all the things. And the way he's speaking is with surprise. And if we are surprised, we tend to speak faster. There are some contexts, some situations where we do speak fast because, for example, we're surprised. But if we are sleepy, then we tend to speak slowly. So Jennifer is saying, so fast. Yes, so fast. Now let's go back to our presentation. So it can be like this. One situation, for example, we are surprised and we speak fast because we are surprised. Of course, that we don't need to speak very, very, very fast every single time, but this is one of the cases where we speak fast. And what we are feeling right now, overwhelmed like so fast, like, right? Like an F1 car. You don't want to feel that. You want to feel like this. You are in a conversation. We are with your friends, with your family, maybe your coworkers, and you are able to laugh because you understood, not faking, not just like. By the way, can you see me? I know that I'm sharing the screen, but I'm not sure if you can see me. I hope you do. Let me know. Yes, you can see me? Oh, good, great. Boa, boa, great. Because I'm with these facial expressions and it just makes sense if you can see me. This is what you want, not just pretend that you understood, but really understand. Okay, so this is our goal. And to show you that this is possible using the right techniques and the sum, in Portuguese, we say o supra-sumo, like very condensed and the good juice, if you know what I mean, is going to be, I'm going to show you here. But just for you to know that you're not alone and there is someone in the same situation that you are now. Someone learned what I'm going to show you here in this masterclass. Someone achieved that. So this is Nancy. She knows me by Sara Bento because we met when we were single. If you know me now, I introduce myself as Sara Gomes because it's I got married and now I'm Gomes. So Sara Bento, she says here, she says my name, and she went through this process, and I want you to know her and what she did to actually overcome this issue that you are also having.
I'd like to say a few words about Sarah Bento's course, Understand the Portuguese. I have achieved a level B1 in Portuguese, and Sarah was actually my teacher for B1. But after all of the time spent in class and all of the hours spent studying and all of the hours spent reading and all of the hours spent trying to listen to the Portuguese, I found that I was not able to understand what they were saying. It gave me a lot less confidence to continue to try to speak with them, and I was beginning just to lose all faith that I could even do it in the end. So when Sarah offered this course, I said, hey, why not? What can it hurt? Might as well give it a try. And so I did. And it took me about 5 months, but that was kind of because of my schedule. And I'm very, very glad that I did. My improvement has been dramatic. Sarah takes each of the letters in the sound system and explains how they are by themselves and in combination with other letters, and then how those change when they combine in other words in a sentence. And it was astonishing to me what I really did not understand as to how the sounds were completely lost. And so I feel, although not 100%, I have a lot more confidence in my ability, and I now speak with people in the lojas, people in the shops, in the hospitals, in Portuguese. I may not be 100% yet, but this course has significantly improved my ability to achieve my goals. And now I do think it's possible, and I have a lot more confidence. So I do highly recommend this course.
Okay, so do you recognize something that she said that you always also have been through? There's the challenge of understanding and almost giving up. And she said that she did courses and learned and do all the things, but she was still struggling and thinking, maybe I should give up. Okay. And she always said what she learned, and you will have a sneak peek of my course. That's what I'm going to teach you now. The way the words are connected and what happens with, in terms of pronunciation, what happens with the letters that disappear And some of these letters, they don't disappear, but they are low, not open, not high. And because your ear is not trained, you can't hear the sounds. So it's not just about listening. It's about hearing. You need to be able to hear and listen, two different things. Because one thing is, okay, I can spot the sounds. This sound, this sound, this sound, this sound. I can spot the sounds. I just don't know what they mean, maybe because it's a complete new word. Other thing, the opposite is you have learned the word many times and you memorize it, but when you listen, you can't hear, you can't listen, you can't recognize the sounds. Okay? So let's go back to this one here, this video. And because I'm not just going to listen to this, watch this video, and you'll feel overwhelmed. See how fast it is, how many letters the Portuguese speak. Now let's go step by step, and I'm going to show you what he is saying. Okay, I can see the chat now. Let me see. Okay, here. Muito bem. So this is what he's saying. And now you can think, and if you want to share your thoughts, share in the chat. He said this, exactly this. Now, without me reading it, before I read it, when you read it yourself, do you understand? That's at 1 point, Alicia. You got? Então. Muito bem. Então, you read it, you understand it. Now you can compare. You listen to it. How much did you understand? Do you think if you listen it like about 3 times, you'll be able to get like 70, 80%? Or do you think no matter how many times you would listen to it, you really wouldn't get 10, 20% of what he said? Okay, it's what I'm asking you to do. It's extremely important because no teacher is inside your mind. Okay, your teacher understands you if you have a good communication. You know how to communicate with your teacher, if you have a teacher or a friend that helps you, and both know how to communicate what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Okay, but I'm not inside your mind. And you need to be able, and you also train this with a listening tracker inside my course, Understand the Portuguese. You need to practice listening to authentic material, listening to the Portuguese from the real world. And with practice, you start to understand yourself in terms of how much you understand, what you do understand, and what you're feeling and how you are feeling. And if you at some point you notice, I think now I can manage my level of anxiety or stress or confidence. Okay? Always think about what you are understanding, what you are not understanding, trying to figure out why and how in your specific case, okay? Because it's very important for you to be self-aware of yourself and your Portuguese journey, okay? Jennifer says, I got the end phrase when listening, but that's all. Okay. Muito bem. Very well. So I'm going to do exactly what I do in my course, with sentences. So I first say this slow. Okay, slow. But pay attention because slow does not mean robotic. we don't speak in a robotic way. That's why we put words together. Why? What's the difference between writing and speaking? We put spaces when we write, here between então and agora, between agora and between and luz, because these are different words. But when we speak, we just pause when we breathe. And this makes that we put a couple of words together, even if we speak slowly. Remember, slowly is not robotic. If you just watch videos, for example, on Instagram, most people there teaching Portuguese, they speak slowly. They say, how to say good morning in Portuguese. And usually they say it slowly because they want everyone to understand regardless the level. But you may think that the way they are speaking slowly for everyone to understand, because it's a reel, is the same way that people use in the real world. Well, it's not. You do need to understand the slow version. You need it, especially in the beginning, but as soon as possible, skip to the fast version. So, let's do it. Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer isto tudo? Do you think it was slower? Again. Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer isto tudo? I'm being slow, but I'm still connecting. The best example of this, I don't know if you have the chance to listen to a Portuguese drunk person speaking, but this is what drunk people do and is more evident. Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer isto tudo? When people are drunk, they tend to speak slowly or slower. Okay? But because robotic doesn't equal slow, we still put everything together. Okay, so what do we put together? So before I show you the sentence, let me tell you. We put together similar vowels, more specifically, lower vowels. And please, if you have your notes, write it down because this is very important. Lower vowels are the ones that sound like this. Not a, e. A, e are open vowels. You can hear them loud and clear. A, e, I, o, u. Not u, the u it's low. But a, e, o, I, those are open sounds. You can hear them clearly. But the ones that are like I call them weaker sounds. And if we have weaker sounds, those are the ones that we are going to eat. We don't pronounce them. We swallow them. There are other things that are going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to read this again and try to spot those lower sounds. U. Okay, again. Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? Same speed, kind of slow. Okay? And now I'm going to say it faster. Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? Então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer isto tudo? Now, let me show you this. You've been training in a laboratory, most likely, listening to perfect sounds. If you're learning with a textbook, your textbook has an audio, and probably people there speak slowly and very well enunciated because they are professionals, same ones that record anuncios, propaganda, the ones that you watch, for example, on TV. But nobody speaks like that in Lisbon or Porto. If you train wrong, your brain will never adapt. So, laboratory Portuguese will be like: então agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? This is the perfect Portuguese. I'm pronouncing every single thing. Então, agora a luz voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? This way would be way more easier for you, right? The problem is not exactly that. The problem is, okay, you have something else, something particular that you need to overcome. The real problem is if they don't teach you, if you don't learn it, and you face the challenge, you won't be ready, right? But this is just like swimming. No matter how many books you read, no matter if you have been you think you talk about this with people say I swim and it's very good, and they explain you how it's like to swim. You have all the theory, for example, with your textbooks, with the grammar, everything. But if you never actually swim, you put yourself in the pool, you cannot say that you really know how to swim. So what you need is not just the theory, not just the textbook, not just the audio from your course, from your textbook. You need to practice and learn with real life content. And what is authentic real life content? Videos.
Hi, my
Where
name
is it? Videos like this one. Because you need to train your ear to understand, to listen to these audios, to these videos, okay? You need to practice it. And if you don't practice, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing, right? If you don't practice, then you won't get better. If you don't get better, you will, okay, I'm still doing the mistakes, I'm still feeling nervous and anxious and all this, and nothing changes. Okay, so one very important thing for you is to be able to practice with this kind of resources, even if it scares you. Of course, inside the course, I guide you to the right exercises, listening exercises, right moment, right time. So you can have this, you are in this process and you progress. Okay? So next, why can't move? Do you see different slides? Or maybe I should stop sharing and then sharing it again. Let's see. Canva. Here. Ooh. Something happened and I got to the slides. Okay. Yes, I was using the mouse, but it was not supposed to use the mouse. Okay, so if this is written Portuguese, we write based on the spelling rules, right? This is correct way to write. And you already realize that the way we write is not the way we speak. So how do we speak? Like this. and there's patterns. So what happens? First, let's look at the green. Agora a luz. And what he's saying is agora a luz. You see that we have two A's. Agora, a. But the way he says it, it's agora. What's the pattern here? Every time we have these two sounds, lower A's, we put them together to form an A sound. Okay, so agora, we have we don't say agora a luz. We say agora a luz. Agora a luz. Okay, so if you learn this pattern, and if you train your ear with this pattern, listening to real life content, your brain will start picking up this. You start understanding. Okay, agora a luz. Agora a luz. Agora a luz. A plus a. And if you can't tell the difference between a and a, my friend, you really need to practice listening because it's very different. My lips almost don't open. Like this. But for the opened A, my lips open, my mouth opens. Okay? So again, these two sounds change to just one okay? Let me know in the comments if I'm going too fast or too slow. We can adapt, it's okay. The next pattern that you see in orange, we have the sequence O, voltou, vou. And the way he's saying it is just vou, O. And that's why I put the hat on top of the O. Because he doesn't say voltou. He says voltou. So for every word that you see you see this sequence there, voltou, vou, you can expect not to hear the U in the end. Okay, I know that people in Portugal in the north, they pronounce it. Of course, it gets easier, more close to the way we write, but a lot of people don't. So you need to be ready to listen to both ways. Voltou, vou. If you want to pronounce it as voltou, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But a lot of people, especially, let's say, I can tell you the standard European Portuguese is voltou, voltou, o, just one sound, o, not o, okay? And in red, what do we have here? It's so long and then so short. It looks long because the sound k is represented in Portuguese with QU. That's why we have QU here. And I change this to K because it's easier. Okay? But what happens here? O que é que eu. And you can remember, especially o que é que. O que é que. Because it means, what is that? So you see, it's a chunk. And with this, we can have so many questions. What is blah, blah, blah? What are you going to do? What are you going to eat? What? It's very frequent and very useful. And what is that I'm going? eu, I. O que é que eu? And the fast version is o que é que eu? 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 Here we have another and extremely important vowel that we eat. Every time that we have a consonant and the sound this one here, u, k, this we don't pronounce it. Never. So we have QUE, but the sound is just k, uk, uk. And u, he says it, but it's low. Uk, 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 uk. It's lower. U is lower. It's a low sound. So if you're not trained, your ear's not trained, it's going to be more complicated for you to hear it. Okay? And something interesting. You see this e and this e. So if we are not going to pronounce this here, we can combine this word. Oops, translation. I clicked for the translation. This word here, we combine with the next one. And this gives you an extremely important insight. When we have a consonant sound, in this case, k, could be k, t, l, m, s, h, d, doesn't matter. We have a consonant. If we have next a vowel like that we don't pronounce, and on the right we have a vowel that we do pronounce, in this case, e, then we can put it together. Okay? Was it clear? My explanation? U, ku, e, ku. U, ku, e. Uke. We put ku and e together. Okay? This, I can even change here. This vowel here, we send it somewhere else. We eat it. And because this ku, the consonant, is now forever alone, just a consonant, no vowel. But hey, next to it, we have a vowel. It's an open vowel. It's e. Okay, so we can put it together. Okay. Okay. Let's move it back like this. And the same logic goes with this combination. Que, eu. Again, the that we don't pronounce, never. But then we have e, the sound e, not not e, but e. Eu, e. This one, e, we don't eat. It stays there, but it stays like this. When we have a word that ends with and the next one starts with a strong vowel like e or then we put these two together. Okay? So, o, que, é, que, eu, in the end is just o que que eu. O que que eu. O que que eu. Of course, o que que eu, what is that? I will, or what I'm going to do with all this. This is the sentence. But as you see here in the translation, so now the lights are back on. Então, agora a luz voltou. That's the meaning. What am I going to do with all this? All this stuff. So, what, one word in English, is o que que. O que que. O que que. So you can remember this chunk. It's very important for you to remember not just words individually, because we don't use words individually. We have letters. We organize the letters in syllabes, and then the syllabes in words, and the words in sentences. And because we do what I just explained, o que, it's very important for you to learn the chunk, because once you learn the chunk, o que, and you hear it, you listen to it repeatedly, que, not only you will speak like a native, but you understand because this is what people do. Kick. Or for example, what are you going to do this weekend? O que. Just for you to see, it's a pattern that you can use in different questions. O que é que vais fazer amanhã? Oops. Amanhã. What are you going to do tomorrow? Is the sentence. O que. No. O que. Let me change the color here so you know it's the same thing. I like to use color code. It's just very easy to understand right away. You look at it. So, o que. Let me move this maybe a little bit up. So I do the same that I did with the other question. So I'm writing the way I say it. So the correct way to write is like this. Okay? O que é que vais fazer amanhã? And the first sentence is the correct way to write it. But the way we speak is different. So using Portuguese, the Portuguese letters, I'm writing the way I speak. O que vais, sh sound, so I write the next, vais fazer amanhã. O que é que vais fazer amanhã? O que é que? So you see o que é que here, o que é que, in the sentence, and the same way you see o que é que in the first sentence of the question here, that the guy is saying. Okay, o que é que? What is that? And vais fazer amanhã. Vais fazer amanhã. Always connecting. An S, when we write an S in the end of a syllable or in the end of a word, it tends to be sh. Vais fazer, vais fazer, vais fazer. And here, because we have a consonant and a vowel, or A, we can put it together, but it's just one sound after the other, no big deal. Fazer amanhã. Fazer amanhã. So, how about the rest of the sentence? This first question here. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? Fazer a isto tudo. So, the next thing and the last thing here is isto tudo. Why isto tudo? Isto tudo. So, as I just said, an S in the end is usually sh. So I put the sh sound here. For me, I represent the sh sound with an X, but on your notes, you can write the way it sounds better to you, because when you go back to your notes, you want to know what you wrote before, right? Sh. And when a word ends with an O, we pronounce it U. So this word, which means this, is isto. Isto. The next word is tudo. Tudo. Everything. All. So what this means? It means that we have two syllables that are exactly the same. tu, tu, this two here. Tu, tu, isto, tudo. And when we speak, we usually cut one syllable. So we don't want to repeat the same syllable twice. We just say it once. Isto tudo, isto tudo, isto tudo. This is what he does, okay? On our WhatsApp group, I'm going to send you all the links, this presentation, so you can listen to him and you can watch other videos of him in his Instagram account, and you can train with it, okay? You can listen to it over and over again. That's what I recommend. So he does this. Of course, I don't have to every single time, especially if I pause, isto tudo. If for whatever reason I pause here, either because I said it in one, like I read in the beginning, and after so many words here I need to pause. Sorry, not here. Here I need to pause. For whatever reason I pause, then I need to say it. But if this is a chunk, isto tudo, I don't pronounce every single syllable. Okay, that's why we have ish. Tu is this tu, or this tu, because we just say it once, not twice, not two, just one, two. And then do, again, an O in the end is pronounced U sound. So I write the U here, isto tudo. Okay? So my homework for you is to go back after this masterclass, or tomorrow, you go back to this reel and you watch it again, and then you tell me if it was good, it was better, how was it? Okay? So a comment here. So the two in agora transform into a lower a. They don't transform into a lower a. They are a lower a. Agora, all of this are lower a's. Originally, for example, if you learn Portuguese pronunciation with lower, with the isolated words, you learn like this: agora, because that connects with something very important, which is, how do you know which vowels are the lower vowels? And because of that, we pronounce it in a lower way, and sometimes we don't pronounce them at all. It's because there's always a syllable that is higher than the others. So if we analyze every single word here, we'll see, for example, então. Tão is higher. Então. And for agora, when I say agora, which part of the word you can hear easily, more clear? Go. Agora. Voltou. Voltou. O que é que eu vou fazer a isto tudo? I'm a little bit, I'm overdoing it just to be more clear, okay? There are rules for us to understand which syllable is the highest syllable and the one that we will pronounce it clearly, okay? But when you're listening, of course, that's important to know, but when you listen over and over again to natural content, from reels, from things that people say on the streets, you listen to real Portuguese over and over again, you start building your library, your Portuguese library, and you start remembering how to pronounce. you need to absorb the language as much as possible. Listen, of course, reading a lot, but we are talking about listening. Between listening and reading, I think listening is the most important thing. If your goal is to have a conversation, for obvious reasons, to have a conversation, you need to be able to listen and speak. If you are too focused on reading and writing, well, your goals are different, right? So, answering your question, Andre, the sound of these A's, all of these A's are lower. It's because we put two lower A's together that they change to a strong, open ah. So, plus ah. Okay? You can see your... do you know how we call this in Portuguese? This that you just sent in the chat, André. This is called fish, which is cool. Fish. Fish. Muito bem. Let's keep going. So you see, there's a huge difference between the way we write and the way we say it. But once your brain knows these patterns, you can recognize and repeat them. Okay, because it's not random. So, and this video here is for you to see that it's not just Portuguese. This is a characteristic that some languages have. And let me play this video for you. Okay.
A few of you liked it last time, yeah? So, I need to, yeah? Anita, yeah? Just had your morning coffee. Ooh, need to go for a number 2, yeah? Anita. I will ask her, yeah? Alaska, yeah? Or if you're northern, Alaska, yeah? Boys have just invited you on a lad's holiday. Ooh, have you asked your missus? Don't worry, I'll ask her, yeah? Got it? Do you want it? Yeah? Do you want it? Yeah? You're out for a bit of food with your missus. She's digging into your food. Do you want it? Yeah? Do you want it? Got it? Write them down, remember them. See you later.
Eu preciso de. Eu preciso de. Eu preciso de. Eu vou perguntar-lhe. 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 Queres? 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 Queres?
Right, guys, we're going to be doing a bit...
Interesting, right? Especially if you are an English native speaker, maybe you never thought about this, right? And this is, as I can understand, British English. But we have this thing that we shrink words together. And I show it the equivalents in Portuguese. So, eu preciso de. Eu preciso de. Eu vou perguntar-lhe. Queres? Now you look at this and look to the left and you see the sentence, the way we should write it, okay? Following the spelling rules. And on the right, the way that we actually say it. What can you tell by looking at this? Less letters, right? Which letters? Consonants or vowels?
Vowels.
Vowels, exatamente. Exatamente. Eu, e, stays there. How about preciso? Preciso. For me, it has the E here as the highest syllable. Preciso, preciso. But if you think in English, the sound of this letter is C, A, B, C. And maybe for you, you think that the vowel is not there. If you think A, B, C, this is a C. But this too, C-I, C, C. Okay, preciso. And that is not here. It's not preciso. And this is one of the reasons Spanish and Brazilian Portuguese is easier to understand, because different from English and European Portuguese, they do pronounce. They say, eu preciso. But the Portuguese, eu preciso. Preciso. And sometimes, if someone really likes to eat letters, not even to U in the end. Preciso. Eu preciso. Eu preciso de ir ao café. Eu preciso de. Not a junk. Preciso de, which is very frequent. I need to go to the coffee shop. I need to wash my clothes. I need to do this. I need to do that. Preciso de. Okay? Preciso de. The next one. Eu vou perguntar-lhe. Eu vou perguntar-lhe. Again, the O that we don't say, just vou. And actually, this one can eat it, because the sound is just the sound of the consonant. Pur. Do you hear any vowel? I don't. Pur. It's just the P and the R. Pur. And also need to change here. So you see, we have the PR and U, P, Pr, Pr, Pur, L, K, R aqui. Queres, this is the last one. Queres. Que is open. Que and rus lower. Catch. Do you want it? Catch. Right? So you see the pattern. Every time we have a consonant and like this, a consonant can be R, J, K. K, we don't use K just for words. L, D, doesn't matter. If we have like this, we will never say the vowel. Okay? Unless, for example, like this, P. We write P, the syllable, but we don't pronounce the vowel, just the P. Unless we put something on top of the vowel, and then we have P. P means foot. So because I put something on top of the vowel, then it's not U, it's E. Every time that you see this sign on top of a vowel, it opens the sound. E, P. Okay? So this happens because the U here. Let me show you. These are the higher syllables. A higher syllable, actually, like this is better. What you see in bold is higher than the rest. Okay? And this is like singing. If you're not a professional singer, if you're not good at singing, what are you going to do if you want or need to sing? You try to sing as much as similar to the original song, because you don't really know how to do it and not very comfortable. So you are going to do it exactly like the singer. Okay, so the same thing here. You listen and you mimic. You do as much as possible to say it, to pronounce it just like native speakers. If there's a part of the word that is higher, then you need to pronounce it higher. And the lower, lower. So, eu preciso de. Eu vou perguntar-lhe. all of this is lower because there's just one syllable is higher. Perguntar. This word is good because it's long, so you can really see that it's just one that stands out. And one of the reasons in this case is because we have the combination of a vowel and R. So one of the patterns, another pattern is you have this a syllable like this, any kind of vowel, any kind of consonant, and then a vowel, a, e, I, o, u, plus R. If you have vowel R, you know that this vowel is going to be open. You're going to hear it and you will pronounce it higher than the others, at least open. So, perguntar-lhe, perguntar-lhe. I just hear one vowel, although we should write like this and like this. Sometimes, of course, usually every single syllable has vowels, but sometimes we just hear one, like here, perguntar-lhe. Okay, so let me cut it again. And catch, why this X here? I'm trying to represent the sound sh. S in the end can be sh. Catch, catch, but this R, we eat. All right, we eat. I like to call this up and down. Eu vou perguntar, like the valley. You are driving, and sometimes you go up and go down, up and go down. That's the valley. So what are the 3 steps that will help you finally understand the Portuguese and be able to feel confident and really know that you are capable of starting and carrying on a conversation, even if they eat letters, they speak fast, and this is what ultimately will help you to have the best life possible in Portugal, because if you cannot understand what people say, doesn't matter if your grammar, your pronunciation, your vocabulary is perfect, because if you can understand, what are you going to say? How are you going to answer? If I ask you, de onde és? De onde és? De onde és? De onde és? And you ask you ask the person to say it slower, and they say, de onde és? And you don't understand it, even if you have been learning for a long time. What are you going to say if you don't understand? Well, what I just said is, where are you from? Which is a very basic question. So I understand the struggle and the frustration. But let me show you the 3 steps, okay? So the first step is the letters and the patterns. The sounds that disappear, when, why, how. The letters that don't disappear, they are there, but your ear is not trained to hear them, like okay? And how they connect inside a word. Sometimes letters change, and it depends on what letter comes next. For example, let me see if I find here. Like here, agora a luz, agora a luz. And the other situations where it depends if, here, this Z here, the Z. I wrote Z here in the pronunciation, but the correct way to write it is with S. But we don't pronounce S, we pronounce Z. Why? Because when the letter S is between vowels, we pronounce Z. So it depends on, oh, which letter or sound is on the left and on the right. A letter may change depending on what letter is on the right and on the left. So learning these patterns is also very important. Okay, these patterns. And some of them you learned today. And I put it here, A, E, I, O, U. We talked about some vowels, but the truth is that we can eat all of the vowels. You see written down A, E, I, O, U, but there are situations where we eat all of the vowels. That's why I put this image here. Second, the connect speech. What happens when words link? Sometimes three words sound just like one. There are patterns, there is a way. It's not just random. So this is the second thing that you need to learn. For example, the one that we saw here, estudo. Estudo. Why is estudo just one syllable here? Because we don't want to repeat the same vowel twice. And when it happens, not just with these two words, other words, if a word ends with a syllable and the next word starts with the same syllable, we can just cut one of them. Okay, this is another pattern, how we put words together. And finally, progressive listening training, exercises that grow in difficulty from short audios to natural speech, even, for example, Instagram Reels. This is one of the best because we can select the right Reels and they are short. So it will help you not to feel way too overwhelmed. For example, watching a movie, like 1 hour, is too much, right? So these 3 steps. So now you can realize, now you can think this. Now you can understand that it's not just about studying more grammar and vocabulary. Maybe you thought, oh, maybe I just need to learn more. I need to learn more grammar. I need more vocabulary. It doesn't mean that this is not important. But if you can read, but you can't understand when you listen to, it's not a matter of grammar or vocabulary. It's your ear, okay? It's about training your ear and your brain for real Portuguese, Portuguese that people use in daily life. Reading is not listening. The way we write is not the way we speak. And you need to learn the patterns that we use when we speak, like linking words, the reductions, the written, all of this. And for example, you can think about the different areas, different things that we used to learn, like reading and writing, grammar and vocabulary, speaking and listening. If you practice reading and writing more, you'll be better at this. But if you don't practice listening or you practice using the wrong exercises, the wrong audios and videos, then you can't expect to be good at something that you're not practicing well or something that you don't do at all or you just do once in a while. Okay, so, and think again, if you can understand what people are saying, the rest isn't worth much and communication goes down the drain. And what happens with most people is this: reading and writing is good. Grammar and vocabulary, not that bad, but they need to work on it. Speaking is difficult. You see, it's falling. And listening, we do in Portuguese do like this. It's really bad. So we don't want this. But the good news is that we can change this. And I have for you the missing piece in your Portuguese journey, which is understand Portuguese. I started doing this kind of content on social media, YouTube, and also the course because I saw that this is a true issue that many of people have. And I didn't want just to do a course to say, oh, I did a course or teach something because I wanted to teach. No, I listened to people and my students, and I tried to address those issues the best way possible. So that's why I specialize in this: listening, pronunciation, and understanding what the Portuguese are saying, which is listening comprehension, right? So what are you going to find inside the course, and what we will help you? If you want to check it out, if you are curious, you have this QR code here to check it out. And I would like to show you what a student of mine says after doing the course, and he's sharing his experience.
How he eats his words, all the things that he does that at first made my life miserable, but now I'm actually really getting involved with the process and understanding a heck of a lot more. Thank you, first of all, for putting together a fantastic course. Really has helped me as I navigate my way through the Portuguese language and my life that's coming up in Portugal. I currently live in Chicago in the United States, even though I'm Australian, but my connection with Portuguese language is I'm married to a Brazilian, and we are planning our retirement in Portugal. And as such, we're actually building a house. And one of the things I've struggled with is actually understanding the people I'm dealing with, the constructors and so on. One of the guys there, Thiago, has a Portuguese accent that it defies belief. Anyway, since I've been doing your course, Sarah, it has really helped me actually, first of all, understand how Thiago speaks, how he eats his words, all the things that he does that at first made my life miserable, but now I'm actually really getting involved with the process and understanding a heck of a lot more. Our house is still under construction, but hopefully it'll be ready by the end of the year. But I just wanted to thank you so much for providing me the materials, providing me with all of the things that I needed to help improve my, my Portuguese language skills, and actually, understanding the Portuguese as they speak and as they eat their words. So thank you, Sarah. Understand.
So you see, he did the understand Portuguese course, like Nancy, and you see how it was for him, especially with Tiago, because Tiago, the construction worker, speaks like, do you know how the Portuguese people speak? And it helped him a lot. So you can, I will also send this this link for the course in the WhatsApp group, so you can just, the link is this one. You can see more information, more about more things that I just said and others. You can click here. You can read all of this if you want. I'm going to explain more about it. Once you click to purchase, you'll find something like this. You have different ways to pay, and you can pay like it can be a one-time payment, 2 or 3, okay, with these values here. And if you want, also I have here a Portuguese media list. It's a compilation, includes, as you see here, so many Instagram accounts, 220 Instagram accounts, and 170 YouTube channels, all in European Portuguese, carefully selected to help you. Because I said you need to listen and watch real-life content, something made by Portuguese to Portuguese. And I selected, for example, a Portuguese doctor. Or maybe you like gardening, and that's a girl, because I know the person, a girl talking about flowers and gardening in Portuguese. Or you want to know more about Portuguese food, that someone has an Instagram or a YouTube channel with recipes in Portuguese to teach Portuguese to cook. And for example, if you know Portuguese supermarkets, they usually, especially the big ones, they have a YouTube channel, and they have different kinds of videos there And for example, Lidl is very famous for the recipes. So it's a video with someone, Portuguese person, teaching how to do recipes. So from comedy to lifestyle, Portuguese influencers, biologists, sports, the Portuguese Federation of Basketball, Handball, Badminton, all of this, it's there that I selected for you inside this Portuguese media list. But about the course itself, let me show inside how this works. Let me change here. I want to open the link. About the course, this will help you change, especially if you have been trying different things and nothing helped, like understanding the Portuguese and the way they say, okay, let's address this issue directly. And this is what this course does. You saw a little bit of what happens when the Portuguese speak. And inside the course, you have everything and much more organized in a way that you can progress based on this step-by-step that I show you here, right here. So first you'll start to understand these vowels, and you start hearing the vowels that we pronounce but low, and the ones that we just don't pronounce at all. First the vowels, and then the consonants that change, like the S. You remember here, like the S. The S, we write S, but in this particular case, because it's between vowels, we say Z, Z, okay? It also happens if a word ends with an S, and the next starts with a vowel. So very interesting here. I don't know why I can't share the others, but it's okay. We will work it out. So I don't want you to waste your time with time, money, and energy with things that don't work, and without being able to put into practice what you have learned. So now in this masterclass, you learned a lot, right? And I don't want you to turn it off, then you go to sleep, and tomorrow your life continues the same. And you don't put what you've learned here into practice, and your life continues the same. You can't carry on a conversation because you want to understand what they're saying. You can't connect with Portuguese. You are always nervous when you go to a coffee shop or a store because they just be like, as Portuguese, I admit it, we do speak like more consonants than vowels, and very difficult to understand, right? So if you are ready for the next step, and with the step-by-step where I'm going to guide you, then understand the Portuguese course is the perfect fit because it does exactly that. And for example, it worked for Nancy and Jeffrey. I think I didn't mention, but this student of mine, his name is Jeffrey, and he's from Australia. So you don't need to go through this frustration, this stress again, and thinking what I'm going to do because I don't understand them, but I live here and I need to understand them. So you end that, and you can start having good conversations. You can start finally understand what they are saying. And because you know that you have been learning and practicing the right way, you will feel more confident. Okay? Think about your friends, maybe if you have Portuguese family, Portuguese relatives, your crush, your neighbors that you like to talk with them, but it's like, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do this. Or imagine yourselves going to a store and you order and you just live your life, not worrying about the language. You want to live your life the best way possible. And if you have this language barrier or this listening barrier, how are you going to live the best life possible? How are you going to live the Portuguese dream? Maybe you don't. Are you okay with that? Or will you be willing to do what is necessary to overcome this challenge and finally understand the Portuguese? Okay. And most of you, I believe that you learn Portuguese because you want to connect with people. So it makes completely sense. So here's exactly what you're going to have inside. This that you see are the modules. Okay, I was trying to share the here. Okay, this is what I wanted. You're commenting here. Yes, the recording version will be available. Yes, Alicia and Andre. Yes, and I will also share the links for the other videos so you can watch them. And there's a gift for me later that you'll see what that is. So inside the course, understand the Portuguese, 117 lessons. You have the introduction, you have 3 study plans. If you are very busy, you have 1 study plan. If you are kind of busy, you have another study plan. If you want to be like, I'm going to study this and practice an intensive study plan, you can adapt to your reality. I explain you how to go through this course here. And with the first module, you'll learn how this singing thing, the ups and downs, which vowels do we actually pronounce, okay? With a lot of sentences, a lot of practicing, all the exceptions, because if you realized, Portuguese has a lot of exceptions for everything, but everything is here. And after every single module, you have a class to review, to help you review. These lessons are not like 1 hour each one, like 50 minutes, 30 minutes. So it will be so much easier for you to start and finish a lesson if it's 15 or 30 minutes, okay? If it's 1 hour, maybe you will stop in the middle and then you come back and you don't know where you stopped, and probably you don't have 1 hour straight. We are all adults, we are very busy, so I also thought about that when I was recording this, when I was doing the course, because if you have, probably you have 50 minutes or 30 minutes, and this way you can make sure that you go through the course and you get the results that you want. So the letters, why are you hungry? So let's eat, because I'm going to show you how you can eat letters, the vowels, like the Portuguese. We start with, you see, hope you can see, the vowels. And for each one, let me show you one here. We have a lot of sentences where I explain word by word, letter by letter, the sounds, what happens, just like what Nancy said, because she did the course. Now let's see what happens with letter A. Estou a aprender português. You see, first slow. Can you recognize this We saw this before. Estou a aprender português. We saw this before in the beginning, right? A plus a. And I explain, you see, this, we have the, like, 2, 3 minutes, just one sentence, because I really go deep and explain each sound, in this case, focusing on the A's. Okay, we have 3, 4 lessons. You see, less than 50 minutes, 30 minutes and 45 seconds about A. So you listen to explanation. I'm explaining in English, so you will understand. And I read, I pronounce, I do it over and over again, so you will have as much input as you need. And you can also practice, you can repeat after me. You have the video lesson, you have just audio, and for each audio, we have like a bunch of audios here. You can just listen to the audio, and you can also download old audios. You can download old audios. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, but you saved the audios on your device, you can listen to them and practice. Okay. So A, I, O, U, and don't eat, the ones that we don't eat. All of this. Let's eat more because we love to eat. You know, Portuguese people, they love food. We love bacalhau. We love leitão. We love pastel de nata. We love eating. So we also eat letters. So all this, always practicing with a lot of sentences and giving you a bunch of examples. And this part here, just questions. Specific chunks that we say that sound completely different from the way we write. Qual é que? Oh. So now let's see. Qual é que é o teu carro? Qual é que é o teu carro? That's a chunk. The same way in the example in the beginning of this masterclass. O que é que? O que é que? That what we use in questions. The same way we have qual é que? Qual é que é? Qual é que? Qual é que? And this particular question, you see, all the sequence, the process of cutting, of eating, of changing. Qual é que? Qual é que? And the chunk that you need to remember, qual é que? Qual é que? Which is that? And you see, 6 minutes about just one question, one sentence, because we really go deep. And of course, if you're not sure about the meaning, you have the translation below. And again, always just the audio and the download audio here, okay? The questions, you will understand the questions, you understand when they eat the letters, all of this that they do. And of course, then exercises, I call this all together and mixed. Because now, these are sentences, not just to analyze one particular letter or one particular sound, everything, all the different sounds. So it's gradual. First, lessons just with one vowel. What happens? One vowel, a sentence, one vowel. And after you learning all the vowels, all the letters, then we can practice with sentences and I explain each sound, all the sounds that we eat or we change. Okay? Tudo junto e misturado. All together and mixed. All the things here. And you see, we have, I don't want to overwhelm you, we have 16 lessons like this. Some of them are about 30 minutes, others 14, but you will have the best here for you to train your ear. And of course, then you have the listening techniques, which are shadowing, chunking, breathing, focus on context and others. And you also have a Portuguese listening progress tracker. It's really complete with everything that you need to track your progress, not just today. Let me listen to this. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Next week, you come back to that same audio or reel or podcast. Did your perception change? Did your ear improved? Okay, let's do the exercise again. So all of this exercises, and this here we have audios made by natives, but not in a studio, okay? People that you can find on the street, that kind of people. These exercises, first, again, to practice the listening techniques, short audios, and then we progress to more complex audios and even reels. And this is one of the surprises that I have for you. I will send you that reel that we saw in the beginning and a lesson about that specific reel. It's one of the lessons that is here. For example, on module 5, you have exercises with reels, with short podcasts. Very good for you to practice. Okay? And I know this may seem a lot, but in 3 months, you can do this course. In the case of Nancy said that she was able to complete in 5 months due to her schedule, but because you have 3 different study plans, you can adjust. If you can watch more lessons, you do. If you don't, you just take your time. But the important thing is that you do something towards your goal and towards the ultimate goal that I believe is to have the best life possible in Portugal. So you may think, oh, Sarah, that's nice, but is it for me? Well, this is for people, especially the ones that are in the level intermediate and advanced. Intermediate or pre-intermediate, A2 and B1, okay? If you are a beginner, you can do it, but it will be more difficult for you. It's possible, but it suits better for pre-intermediate, intermediate, and advanced learners. But if you like a good challenge, depends on your personality, if you think that it will be good for you, and you want to learn the right way from the beginning, all these patterns, you can join, of course. If you are preparing to move to Portugal and you don't want to have that bad surprise of realizing that the Portuguese that you have been learning is not exactly what people speak in real life, so the course is for you. People that work with Portuguese in Portuguese, I know if you are like in a company, sometimes the company's language is English. Otherwise, you will need it because you need to understand them. And if you are preparing for the exam, the proficiency exam like CIPL or other, this is very important. And if I tell you the truth, I've been preparing people to pass this exam, and they always say the same. What I struggle the most is listening. Reading is fine, writing is kind of fine, speaking is kind of fine, but it's difficult because you're nervous, but listening is the most difficult thing. So if you are preparing for this exam, it's very important because in the exam, on the listening part, they speak fast and with noise in the back. So, and because of that noise, a lot of people get very frustrating because it has noise in the back and it makes it more difficult. So you will have a bunch of lessons, as you just saw, focusing on real word Portuguese. It's a self-paced course. You can watch anywhere, anytime. If you wake up with insomnia and you want to watch a video of me, you can. If you need to listen to the explanation over and over and over again, it's there. You just play it and you listen to my explanation again, as many times as you want, okay, when you want. And for example, let's say that you have time in the morning, so you watch in the morning. I'm there in the morning because it's inside the course. If you have time during your lunch break, do it during your lunch break. 50 minutes, 30 minutes, I think it's doable. Or in the evening or at night, when you can. Okay, and having the classes already there helps a lot, because again, you can practice as many times as you want, when you want. If you have internet, it's perfect. When you join the course, because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, you will see just the first 2 modules. Once you finish them, you will see the next one. Yes, there's a lot of things. Of course, I already show you basically everything. But once you start, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with so many things to learn and to practice. So you do the lessons, you click, oh, I finished the lesson, and you will see the next one. Again, short lessons, because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. No 2-hour lessons. You will have 1 year access, and you'll have this masterclass plus another masterclass that I did some time ago, also about understanding the Portuguese. You also receive 3 study plans: intensive, medium, and light. You can adapt to your time. A listening tracker to see progress week after week. I didn't know if you noticed, but after every single lesson, you have a comment section where you can ask me anything, and every single lesson, I tell you, do you have questions? Was it clear? Do you feel overwhelmed? Any comments, any question that you have, leave here in the comment section, because I want you to interact with me. If you think, oh, Sarah, I did this lessons, I would like you to do a lesson about this topic. It's related, but it's not here. Can you do it? Yes, I can do it. So a lot of things here. Today, with the link that I'm going to send in the group, you can have the course, you can join the course for this price, 197, or you can pay, like if you pay once, is this value. If you want to have the option like 2-time payment or 3-time payment, is also possible. You will be charged once a month, and you will have access for one year. You can have access to link here, and you also have 7 days guarantee. So for 7 days, you can just try. Okay, 7 days guarantee. And once you're in, you'll receive an email like this saying congratulations, you just gained access, all of this. And if you have any technical issue, you can also send me a message on WhatsApp or Instagram. You can send me a message if you have any technical issue. Okay, so you'll see, you receive an email like this and saying click here to log in. Okay, so let me just show you here. Let me go back here just to see, you can see how easy it is. Is the okay? I have the link here. So it's this link. Let me show here. Share. I just share it on our chat. All this explanation that I gave you. This is this video here, and the other one that I have below. What I explain is what is written here. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. That's why you have access to the first 2 modules, and then when you finish them, you have access to the others. All of this, it's here. I said you want to join the course. Click here. You will see something like this. If you want to pay with your credits or debit card, you have the option here. If you want PayPal, also PayPal. You do with PayPal. If you want this Portuguese media list with a bunch of Instagram accounts and YouTube channels about different topics of your interest, it's €9, and if you click here, yes, I want it. You'll see it here, and click here, and it does the rest. The platform that I use is called system.io. It's not a Portuguese platform. It's a platform used worldwide, very international. If you want to know about it, you can search. And any questions about the course itself, about technical things, and also questions not related to this, but anything that we talked about today about Portuguese, I can answer your questions. And it says, thank you for the session. It was helpful. And it also says, thank you for this helpful session that really served as an eye-opener for me. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comments. It's very important for me that it help you. Now the lessons, Jennifer, the lessons, I recorded some in Canva and others with OBS. But it's the system. Then I did an upgrade. But when you are inside the course, let me go back. Where is the? When you are inside the course, you don't. It's system.io, not Canva. There's a presentation that you saw today was on Canva. Canva can do a lot of things here. If I record, I can record a lesson here, and I put inside the course. I record the lesson, and I put the lesson inside the course. But what you see is just the lesson. You don't see Canva. You see just the system. Okay? I hope that answered your question. Where is the other link? Ok. Sim, obrigada. Good. Muito bom. Muito bom. I was saying, and I didn't finish. For me, it's very, very good. The main goal here, of course, if you purchase my course, it's going to be amazing, and the course is going to be amazing for you. But all this time that I was talking and explaining, my main goal is like it needs to be worth of something. I'm here, I'm spending energy. I have the goal, it's helping you. It's like Andre said, to be an eye opener. Oh, now I get it. I understand it. That's the goal. That's the main goal. Let me try to go to. I'm going to show you again. Inside. You can send me any questions that you have. If you want to send me questions about culture, about not just about language, not just about the topic that we talked about today, now is your chance. Because it's a free masterclass. You have direct access to me. So if there's anything that you like to ask about the Portuguese, the culture, all of it, it's your chance now. Okay, I was trying to open something else here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to open it. I know what I was missing. Sei o que estava a faltar. Ok, Alicia. Alicia saying, tenho que ir, mas muito obrigada. De nada. I did this in English because I think that if your issue is to understand what Portuguese are saying. If I do all of this in Portuguese, what's the point if you're struggling understanding what the Portuguese are saying, right? I can't do this masterclass just writing and you read instead of me speaking. So this makes sure that you understand well, completely. And there's something else very important is especially if English is your native language, when someone talks with you, speaks with you, to you in your native language, it has a different impact. No matter how good you are in this language, because if you want to understand the Portuguese, because you want to connect deeply with them, the Portuguese can know English extremely well, but if you really want to know them and touch their heart, you need to speak in their language. So the same applies with you. If I want to touch your heart and really make you understand everything else, it's important to be in English. Okay? So again, inside the course, for example, with the reels, I think you will be curious about the reels. You have me explaining and the exercise, and you click here to access the exercise. First, follow the steps in the document and listening to the audio here. And you have all the explanations. So this is to edit, but if I go like this, you will see exactly like this. So it's not on, this is olaimsara.com, my course inside the platform, which is system. And you have me explaining and the exercise here. First, follow the steps, etc., etc. You click here, I allow, and it does the download. So it's not just the exercise here, you have access to everything. You can download all the exercises. Download, right? Just download it. And you download in a document where you can edit. So this is the exercise. You have the different steps of the exercise. You download this and you can edit. So you can add all your notes, all of this. You have the links, you have the explanation step by step, and for each exercise, you have the step by step here. And I also added the transcription and translator suggestion, dictionary suggestion, Portuguese, English, English, Portuguese. Everything, you have everything here to succeed, to learn, to study, to practice. And if you have questions, anything, you have a section below here. I can't show you because this is a preview mode, but you have a section in every single lesson to write your comments and your questions. Then you mark as complete and you move on to the next one. Okay, here. And again, you have 7 days to try it. And you have different options if you want to pay like one-time payment, twice or 3 times. Muito bem. Mike Jones says, muito útil, muito obrigado. Desculpa, mas tenho de ir. Preciso de dormir. Muito bem. I believe that, well, now it's almost 10. But I know it's late, especially if you're not in Lisbon. Muito bem. Let me stop sharing. Now you just see my face. Okay. Muito obrigado a todos que estiveram aqui. Thank you very much for joining me. And I hope to see you inside the course and on Instagram, on YouTube, etc. Bye.